Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of my podcast, The Stark Effect. I am your host, yours truly, Khalif, aka KK. Okay, you can call me KK or Miss K for short. But welcome back to my show. Thank you for coming back. It's been a super busy weekend, and I wanted to also kind of live a little bit and enjoy quality time with my friends and my loved ones, so that's why I haven't really posted as many clips, but I have been recording videos and being consistent with that, and the clips will come throughout the week all over my socials. I got an amazing opportunity with GLAD. GLAD had their second Black Queer Media Summit. I believe this is their second one. Their last one was in 2023. Yeah, I got an opportunity to moderate a cool panel with actress Bria Simone. So check her out. She's great peoples. She was on the show The Good Doctor on ABC. She was a series regular. She played Dr. Jared Allen. I believe that was the name of the character. So yeah, I had the opportunity to interview her and not interview, but moderate a conversation with her in a room full of beautiful people. So that was super fun. So shout out to the GLAD team for thinking of your girl. For that amazing moment and that amazing opportunity. And hopefully, I can get my photos or something to post because I didn't get a lot of footage of anything. I only got, it was only like two people that actually tagged me or somewhat sent me something. So no one really recorded my panel, unfortunately, but hopefully I can get some pictures. So hopefully the glass team will remember to reach out to me for the photos, so I could post that and just, spread the word and show that summit was great. And the summit is 3 days long. I didn't go to any of the other days because I had to work and stuff like that. But it's a 3 day summit, and it's where creatives all get together. It's a lot of industry people there across. It's influencers. It's everybody named mama there. So all the black gays and black trans, everyone was in the room. All right. So, it was super exciting to be, amongst those people and to just, have that opportunity. So shout out to y'all. Yeah, so I wanted to come and I wanted to do a quick album review for Cardi B's album, Am I the Drama? Okay, because I posted a shorter TikTok video. I think it was like a 3 minute video where I went through my top five. So at the time of me recording this new long form video, and I probably will try my best to not make it that long. I'm gonna try. That's why I said probably, okay? I will try my best to not make this video super long, but I wanted to just do like a little deep dive into this album, some of the lyrics, some of the tracks that really stood out to me. I am going to be using Genius.com. Now, according to Doja Cat, Genius never gets artists' lyrics right. I don't really know what actual like music website gets lyrics right outside of maybe a music app like Apple Music. I feel like they get lyrics right for the most part. But I'm gonna use Genius anyway, and hopefully we can get the lyrics right because the Genius app often doesn't get lyrics right. So here is the album review for Am I the Drama. So a 1 out of 10 when it comes to music, like sonically is the word I'm thinking of, not sonic. But when I hear it sonically, when I hear the production, when I hear the rhymes, I feel like Cardi B came harder with this. I feel like Cardi B actually tried a little bit more to show, because Cardi B can rap. It's not that she's a bad rapper. A lot of the critique that Cardi B gets is that she doesn't write her own raps and she doesn't have good pronunciation and diction and cadence. Her cadence sucks. That's what people say, not me. Okay, I don't think that. But a lot of people who don't like Cardi B or just don't like her accent, and they probably have some xenophobia there or something, or they just don't like hood stuff, or people who speak in AAVE, they feel like it's ghetto. You get me? They're off the bat just gonna say, oh, this girl can't rap. But with Am I the Drama, I feel like the rapping was a bit better than her first album. And it's interesting because that says a lot. Because numbers wise, Am I the Drama is already having good success. It went platinum in 1 day. Okay, so it already went platinum in 1 day, and yes, that's off of sales and things like that, but it's also off of WAP and Up, right? Because I believe WAP, I think I read somewhere that it sold 9 million copies, and that's up, sold 5 million copies, right? So they also factor that into, album sales with the streams and all that, right? So those things are already factored, and she put that on the album digitally, right? So that's gonna also boost it up and help it. And all artists do that, right? You have other artists where they'll release a single and they'll bundle it together with the previous record. I think Beyonce did that with what's that song? Break My Soul. Beyonce did that where they released the single as a bundle, where they released it with like other records and things like that. No shade to Nicki. Me bringing her in this conversation is not me shading her, but Nicki has done that with, I believe, Super Freaky Girl. So she did that as well, where she released it as like a Ice Spice. A lot of artists do that. In the streaming era, you just don't make a lot of money. These artists are not making a lot of money with streaming. So when they release a single, they'll bunch it with other previously released songs, or they'll add like an instrumental or an a cappella version to get people to keep. Basically, all of those plays really, really help the numbers, and it helps the streams, helps the sales, right? So with Cardi B, she miraculously went platinum in one day, literally matching and beating Taylor Swift's record. So that's phenomenal. The girl. No matter. Here's the thing with Cardi B. No matter what people say about Cardi, she always proves us wrong, and she proves them wrong, not me, because I actually like Cardi B and I believe in Cardi B. But a lot of people don't like her. I've been seeing TikTok videos, Instagram videos of people getting online saying how she sounds stupid, and saying how she doesn't know how to rap, and saying how she has no talent, and they just cannot understand how this girl gets by because they just really don't see it for her. So and I think that comes from a place of them just not liking Cardi B and not liking her sound. When we listen to music, not everyone's gonna like your music, and honestly, I think Cardi B is okay with that. Because a lot of the things that she's been saying on her rollout and her promo tour, which I have been loving her promo tour, by the way, I've been loving all her interviews. She's been saying how she's learning how to not pay attention to the haters, because the haters, she has a lot of people who literally don't like her. We all know the infamous beef with her and Onika, our good sis Nicki Minaj, our good sis who I also love. That will forever be a beef, right? I saw something on social media, I believe it was posted by That Grape Juice, where, the Barbs, they were streaming Nicki Minaj's last album, on purpose to try to get it to compete with Cardi B's, and it actually worked. But it didn't work all the way because Cardi B is still doing numbers, you know what I mean? So, but Nicki streams like went up yesterday and the day before that, right? Because the Barb's was ready, like, oh, we not gonna let this girl stream. So, that just shows. Here's the thing about Cardi B. Lyrically, Cardi B, I think the thing about Cardi B that I like is that lyrically, when it comes to Nicki Minaj and other female rappers, Cardi doesn't care anymore about that. Cardi has always known that she is the underdog. I mean, she even said that back in the day with her mixtapes. But she still was consistent, and she still rapped, and she still released top music, right? So, like, I've been listening to Cardi since her mixtape, her very first mixtape, Gangsta B Volume 1, okay? Because I really like Cardi. Like, I just love how crazy she is. I love it. I'm not saying she's the best female rapper at all, but the special thing about Cardi is her personality and her charisma is what draws people to her. And some artists have that and some artists don't. Cardi B is fun. Cardi B makes fun hip hop music. So I went on a whole tangent there, but 1 out of 10, I'm gonna give this album a solid. I'm gonna give it a solid because it has some fire records, but I'm so nervous to say this for some reason. Some people said a 10 out of 10. I don't think it was a 10 out of 10. I would say that it was a 7.5 or an 8 out of 10. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the album was very long and she had a lot of album fillers. So we're going to get into the tracks. There were some records that were just sort of like filler tracks, but I see why they're there. Um, some of them, they were just there. But when I went back and listened, I'm like, okay, this is kind of hot. I see why she put this on here. Now, on her press run, she's been popping up everywhere. She's been going to the Breakfast Club, Sway in the Morning. Like, Cardi B has been everywhere. I think she said that she was going to do some podcasts as well. She did the Gayle King interview where she, unveiled her pregnancy. which was a different conversation for another day because people are dragging her for being pregnant by Stefan, Diggs or whatever. She finally confirmed it after the rumors going around and people looking at her stomach and seeing like this girl is pregnant and she's denying it. We'll get to that later, but I'm gonna give it a 7.5, 8 out of 10. Probably like a 7.5, 8 out of 10. And the reason why I say that is because the beats went hard. Like the instrumentals went really, really hard. I actually like a lot of the instrumentals alone that she chose for this album over her first one. Um, I think the reason why maybe I'm giving it a 7.5 or an 8 because I can't choose out of 10 is because I'm not really sure what her next single will be. I mean, Cardi B even posted a video earlier today where she was thanking her fans. I might even insert it here. It was so sweet. She was thanking her fans and she was getting emotional because she was like, oh my God, I'm getting so much positive reception. I don't even know what the single is going to be. I think there are so many records where I'm kind of like, okay, like where is she going to go? But that's not necessarily a bad thing. That could be a good thing. The fact that she has 23 records on here or 22 records on here because she has to tour, right? And Cardi B only has two like studio albums out and then she has two mixtapes out. Yeah, so she only has like four bodies of work. I believe she has, let's look at Cardi B's discography. I think she has Gangsta B Volume 1 and Volume 2. Then she has her first album and her second album. Those are her, sorry, I burped here. Those are her only like projects, right? So with all four of those projects put together, yeah, it's just four projects. So with those four projects put together, she could give you a tour. She could give you a tour. But when it comes to studio albums, I think that's why she made Am I the Drama longer because it's been 7, 8 years since she's released. Her first album was only 13 records and she didn't have a deluxe or nothing like that. And it was out of this world successful. And in her promo run, she admitted that on the Breakfast Club, she admitted that when she did her first album, right? When she did the first album, she just went with the flow artistically. She didn't know what to expect. She didn't think that it would be so much success, right? So I think that that contributes to the pressure of Am I the Drama, the second album, because this album is the make it or break it album, right? It's the sophomore album, and oftentimes artists when they release a second album, they deal with something called the sophomore slump. Okay, the sophomore slump is when the artist, a new music artist, they'll have a first album that does great, second album comes and sometimes it might flop because the fans just don't care for it anymore, or the fans are looking for the first album again in the second album. And this is the beauty of Cardi B and her story as an artist. And I know she doesn't write all her raps. She doesn't shy away from that, okay? But the beauty of her getting this win again is she beat the sophomore slump, whether we like it or not. Cardi B has so much resilience. And I think that's what makes people so angry because people are like, oh, like you don't know how to rap. I just I see so many people get so emotional over Cardi B. Like they get really like upset because they're always comparing her to Nicki Minaj or they're always comparing her to Glorilla or they're so there are some people who love female rap. They just get so angry because they're like, oh, like this girl doesn't deserve her success. But no matter what anyone says, she's still successful. And Cardi B with Am I the Drama, even with the rating that I gave it, and I might even just change it and give it a 10 out of 10 off of the basis that it's such a solid album. And I'm going to get into the tracks. Okay, I'm talking a really long time. But Cardi B beat the test of time. 7, 8 years. They didn't drop her from the label. There were whispers of her having some label issues, rumors, allegedly. I don't know if they're true or not. I don't know these people in real life. But online, there have been a lot of whispers of like, oh my God, is she having issues with Atlantic? Is Atlantic going to drop her? Because she's just taking too long. She's just taking too long. You know what I mean? So I wanted to check my mic. My bad. I want to make sure my mic is ready. So anywho, let's get into the tracks. Let's get into my top five. And here's the thing. When I'm gonna say this, when I listen to music, whenever it's an artist releasing a new album or a new project, I try my best to not be one of those music listeners who is comparing it to the previous body of work because it's never going to be the same. Like the way that I listen to music is probably different from other people. You might even feel like I'm contradicting myself a lot in this video. And if you feel that way, you don't have to watch. You can turn the video off. I don't care. But what I'm saying is that when I listen to music, I try my best to not compare it to the previous body of work. I try my best to let this album stand alone. And honestly, when I hear Am I the Drama, I don't even think of Invasion of Privacy at all. The only time that I really thought of Invasion of Privacy is when she had a few punchlines in there where she kind of repeated older lines and she redid it to show you like, hey, I'm still Cardi, I'm passing it on. I'm passing on these lines to my new album to show you that I'm still here. You get me? For example, Get Up 10 is the intro from Invasion of Privacy. There was one line, and I believe it's the last record. It's called Killing You HOEs, right? It's called, I can cuss on YouTube. It's called Killing You HOEs, okay? HOES. um, she said something of basically she was rapping about being resilient in that record, and she said something around the lines of I'm just a boss at getting up and getting up 10 and getting up and trying again or something like that. So there were like little bars like that where I was like, okay, she's paying homage to her old body of work. Um Such a good album. Overall, it's a solid album. My top five. I really, really like it's literally the last record, one of the last records before Up and WAP. It's called Killing You HOEs, okay? HOES. That's the last record. To me, I like that record because it feels very like I'm on the block in the Bronx. Okay, I'm not from the Bronx in New York, but when I hear that record, I feel like the girl is taking me to the Bronx. Okay, we sitting on the porch. We got our platform heels on, girl. We got our Fashion Nova jeans, our hoop earrings on, and we spitting. Like, that's just what it feels like to me. Like, cause I love female rap. Like, I just love female rappers in general. Like, I like a little bit of all the girls. Like, from Queen Latifah to MC Light to Rhapsody. Um, I like a little bit of Tierra Whack. To be honest, I'm not that versed in Tierra Whack, but I've listened to a few of her things. I like Doechii. I like Megan. Y'all know I love Megan Thee Stallion. Like, that's one of my faves. Queen Latifah, I think I already said her. Little Kim. So I like a little bit of everybody. Eve, I really like a little bit of everybody. But anyways, that record, Killing You HOES, it makes me feel like we in the streets. And I think that's the purpose of Cardi. It's like, street girl from the streets, former stripper. You know, she got money now, but don't get it twisted. She will still go upside your head. Okay, y'all be in court one day. Y'all gonna be in court. Am I the drama? You know, she is still a hood girl. Okay, but I like that. I think, and it works for her. That's the thing about Cardi B. It always works for her. And Cardi B knows her strengths. She just knows her strengths. You know, so for the people who try to compare her to our other good sis, you can't compare the two at all. They're completely different. They are completely different. Now, we know Nikki writes. Nikki has more authenticity when it comes to hip hop and rap and writing. You get me? But with Cardi B, it's interesting how it still works. And I know for the true hip hop heads, they don't like Cardi B because they feel like, oh my God, this, like when we talk about real rap, and I'm not saying Cardi B is not a real rapper, but there are some hip hop heads who feel like she's not a real rapper, right? They feel like you are not real, like you're not authentic. Like this, it just sucks that you're being like there are people who say this, and I see it all the time where they get so angry at her. But you can't knock her hustle and you can't knock her success. She happens to be one of the ones who got in the door and shook it up. So, number two, what's another? I have all the track list here. Ooh, and this might change for my TikTok, by the way. It's probably not going to be the same of the top five I said on TikTok. So number two, I'm going to give it to Dead. I like Dead with Summer Walker. I feel like that's a great intro. It's a great it's a great intro. You know, she's saying like, I want to come for y'all head. Y'all been playing with me. I'm gonna come for you. You know what I mean? I want y'all DEAD. That's what she said on the song. Okay, so I really really like that. Hello is good. She's saying hello, it's me. Hello. It's such a bop. It's such a bop. Hello is a strong record. Magnet by far is like one of the best records on the album. That's number, I think I'm on number 4 or 3. I done lost count, child. Magnet is good. Yeah, I think I'm on number 4. So let's have Magnet be number 4. And then number 5. It's a tough one because she got some bops on here. By the way, these are not gonna be number 5, but I like the singles. I like Outside and I like Imaginary Players. I literally really like Outside. And I've been seeing online that some people have said that they don't really care for Outside because it sounds dated. I think Outside is such a fun song. If anything, she should, before I get to number five, she should have released this album earlier this summer. I see why she waited though, because she had the court case and she wanted to use the promo and all that and lead up to the tour and kind of buy herself time to have the baby and disappear a little bit and drop the videos and all that. Um, I just feel like this album, I wish it would have been released like in July or like June, maybe July, because it's coming out in September. And now it's getting cold. Now the funny thing about it is that we have this really good club music now, and this summer we didn't really have like club bops like that. We had a lot of R&B records this summer come out for like urban hip hop R&B music. We had a lot of R&B, but we didn't really have like hip hop. Like we didn't really have that this summer. I don't know why. I feel like all the rappers have been kind of chilling. We just have not had that. Maybe out probably Glorilla was like the only one kind of, and she ain't really dropping nothing right now, although she just had an album. But the summer was kind of slow for hip hop. You know what I mean? So I that's why I like Outside. So anyways, number five, I'm gonna give it to number five. I'm so torn, y'all, because, oh my God, I like Principle. I like Better Than You. I like Pretty and Petty. I like the album. And we're going to get to the fillers too, that probably should go. I like Check Please too, but although I think as a filler, I do like it. Okay, so number five, I'm going to give it to Better Than You, not Pretty and Petty. Although Pretty and Petty should have probably been number four or five. Better Than You to me, the reason why I'm choosing Better Than You as one of my top five is because Better Than You, featuring Cash Cobain, when she released a track list and she had Cash Cobain on there, I was like, oh, she about to have a different sound. You know what I mean? Better Than You gives me a different sound that Cardi hasn't really experimented with. That it's like this real like Southern Atlanta sound. Hopefully I'm getting that right for the real like hip hop heads. But when I hear it, it actually makes me think of Lotto. Like the sound. It sounds like a Lotto record to me. And I don't know who she sampled on Better Than You. Let's see. By the way, my glasses broke, y'all. So look, I might be on here with one arm on my glasses having to read, child. Okay, because my glasses broke. But Better Than You, it was produced by FNZ and Vinyls. Oh, Jesus, hold on. This is a mess. Okay, I promise I'm going to get some new glasses soon. Hold on. Let's see who she sampled on this record because I really like the sample and I love this record. Hold on. I don't know who she sampled for this record. I actually really like this song. I thought she sampled someone because when you listen to Better Than You, let me take these crazy glasses off, y'all. I'm sorry. I just wanted to look at that for a second. When you listen to Better Than You, it's like this little like singing in the background. So I don't know who they sampled for that. It doesn't show here on Genius, but I like this record. Now, I just saw in the comments on Genius that people are like, well, Cash didn't really rap. All in all, I just like the flow. I like the energy of Better Than You. It actually really surprised me. It just sounded like a real, like Atlanta-ish, laid back, like swag. The record I really like this song. Better Than You is hot. And she's talking about her rivals, sorry, and how she is just that girl. Okay. And that's what I like about this album. It was this overall, this project, Cardi B was like, look, let me remind y'all. I have all these accomplishments, so let me just pop my for a little bit. Because sometimes I feel like when you're too humble, people start playing with you when you're like nice and sweet. And even me, like I'm not a braggadocious person, but there is sometimes you got to remind people, like, nah, I worked hard for this. Now, y'all not gonna be up here saying all this stuff about me. You can feel how you feel, but I still worked hard to get where I'm at. You know what I mean? And I think that's the magic of Cardi B. People like Cardi B because of her story. Her story, her story and her personality is what makes her the star that she is, right? And she can rap. There is something there. And I know a lot of people say that Cardi B is dumbing down female rap and she's an embarrassment to female rap. But, for her to be Afro Latina, Afro Caribbean, Afro Caribbean woman, I think that we need a person of her caliber in female hip hop. That's just what I think personally. I think Cardi is needed in female hip hop, honestly. So not every female rapper is going to be a Nicki Minaj. Not every female rapper is going to be a Missy Elliott. Not every female rapper is going to be a Little Kim. Not every female rapper is going to be a Eve. So that's what I like about Cardi. And as I say this is despite the Nicki fallout and all that, and people saying that Cardi B is just being pushed by a machine and all that. She's a plant. Despite all of that, when I look at just female rappers, it makes me excited that we have a Cardi B. And honestly, I think that she fits. I think that she fits where she is, and I think that with this album, songs like "Man of Your Word" and records like that really allow us to see a different side of her. Records like "Safe." Now I know people been bashing her about "Safe" because she over here rapping about how she feel about Stefan Diggs and she just had a baby. I mean, not just had a baby. She just unveiled that she's pregnant. She will have a baby. A lot of people are upset with Cardi because they feel like that's not the smartest decision, right? Because he has other baby mamas who are also pregnant. And Cardi B just posted a video this past weekend talking about, okay, well, we just gonna have to figure it out. He all of our baby daddy. It is a mess, okay? It definitely is a mess. Oh God, Cardi. It's such a mess. But Cardi's rich. Okay, Cardi gonna figure out how to take care of the baby. And honestly, I'm gonna be real. This is outside of the album review. I think they're both together, and I think Cardi is like, look, if it doesn't work, at least I'm getting publicity off of it, and at least I'm moving on from Offset. This doesn't mean that him and her might not really have a real relationship. I don't know these people in real life, right? But she said that she really does. She really loves Stefan, and they have a great relationship. She's having this baby and all that, and they're rich. You get me? So the whole like baby mama thing, maybe for both of them, they're like, look, if it doesn't work, we both know that we're gonna take care of our child. Some people have kids like that, and I know that I saw on the read it was Kid Fury and Chriselle. Chriselle was dragging Cardi B this weekend, lighting Cardi B up, saying like, girl, like, what are you doing? Like, this is stupid. You're dumb and all this. I think for them, they're just in the moment. I think Cardi B is literally in the moment. I think she's in the moment, and she's like, "Look, at the end of the day, my child is a blessing, and I'm choosing to have my child with him." Do I like that she's pregnant right now before the tour? No, but they got the money to do it, and I know it sounds irresponsible and crazy. I know it do. I'm just saying that I think that's what they're thinking. I think both of them are like, "Look, we have the money to do it. Rumor out on the street is that Stefan is not an angel. Stefan is basically an Offset part two. He just plays basketball and he's an athlete. That's the rumors on the street. I don't know the man in person. This is all alleged and for entertainment purposes only, okay? But at the end of the day, I think Cardi is like, look, at the end of the day, I'm a star. I'm dating someone. He's gonna be a part of this rollout. He like we this is the world of celebrity, okay? So we really do have a thing, and yes, I'm really pregnant, but he gonna be a part of this rollout, and I'm gonna write some songs about him because I have to make this music relatable. This music has to be relatable. You get me? So I think that's her thinking with dating Stefan. Sorry, I keep moving my pony because I really like this ponytail. I really like her, okay? I really like it. It's so cute. Now, this was like a wraparound invisible sew-in clip-in ponytail, so it's a little bit of a struggle to put it on, girl. It popped off. It'd be popping off my head. But I really like it. Oh, on TikTok, okay, so back to the songs. On TikTok, I said that "Pick It Up" was number 4 featuring Selena Gomez. "Pick It Up" is so that now I'm changing it, but "Pick It Up" is a great record. I definitely think this could put her in her pop bag. Now the records that I don't really care for on this album, I would say "Airtime." I don't really care for "Airtime." "Salute" has to grow on me. I don't ever come back to play "Salute" or "Airtime." What's Going On featuring Lizzo is by far the track that I absolutely do not listen to. And it's not because I don't like Lizzo. I actually love Lizzo. I don't know why. It just feels corny a little bit. It's like And oh, that feels so bad saying that because I really, really like Lizzo. Like I'm actually a Lizzo fan. But for some reason, that record, it seems like both of them are like, let's go ahead and get this pop money. Now Lizzo's vocals are good on the record, but for some reason, it gives like just generic pop to me. I don't know why. I don't really like it. It's not a bad song. It's just not a song that I feel like it's the album filler. I don't feel like we needed this song on the album. But for the pop, Cardi B got to figure out what her next single is going to be, right? So I get it. For the pop girls, what's going on? Pick It Up featuring Selena Gomez. Bodega Baddie, is that what it's called? Yeah, Bodega Baddie. You get me. So there are records like that they have to be there. I get it. Nice Guy featuring Tyler. I didn't really go back to that record either. I feel like it's an album filler. Trophies is an album filler. Um, Hold on, y'all. This Bluetooth thing is acting up. I don't know why. It's been acting up a lot lately. Hold on, let me turn this. Okay. I don't know why it acts up. Anyways, Trophies, I feel like is an album filler. Nice Guy is an album filler. Airtime is an album filler. Check Please. I like Check Please, but I feel like it's an album filler. Now, I did listen to Airtime before I recorded this video, and honestly, like Airtime, the beat is hard. Check Please also has a good beat. Overall, the instrumentals, the beats that she chose are fire for this album. Pretty and Petty also has a great beat too, the beats. Salute also has a great beat. I just never go back to that song. Salute is not like a memorable song. Now, as I say this, how I listen to music, it changes. Like I'm telling y'all, I'm such a flip flopper. Like, cause I listen to full albums. So those records that I just named as album fillers, they might grow on me because I could appreciate a good album filler. You know what I mean? So I think we're done with this album review. Imaginary Players, I love that song. Up and Wop, we already know Up and Wop. Killing You HOES is oh wait, Principal and On My Back. Let's talk about those. Okay. On My Back is really, really cute. She sampled Funny How Time Flies. Such a good record. Okay. Principal is also good too. I was just disappointed. Okay, I was disappointed because On My Back, she sampled Janet Jackson. Funny How Time Flies. Fire record featuring Lotus. Now, Lotus, I believe, was on Pink Friday too, on Cowgirl. We gotta actually let's confirm that because the Barbs might feel a way about that. I did catch that. I was like, why Cardi B work with Lourdes? Is she trying to be shady to Nicki Child? Because her and Nicki don't like each other. Um, because Lourdes worked with Nicki Minaj. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that was Cardi taking a little jab at Nicki. You get me? Yep. Lotus also worked with Nicki Minaj for Cowgirl. I caught that. I was like, that's a little jab you taking. Okay. These girls love a cat fight. They both are so passive with each other. Yeah, but On My Back is cute. Really like that record. Nice Guy with Tyler might grow on me. I don't know though. I don't ever go back and play it. Principal. I was so disappointed because I like the sample, but they were promoting it like Janet Jackson was gonna give us new vocals. She didn't give us no new vocals. They just took the vocals off of Principal. It's the pleasure principle. Like they just slowed it down. Maybe Janet did sing on it and she slowed down the vocals, but to me, it sounded like slowed down vocals from the original pleasure principle track, right? Just like slowed down. It didn't sound like newer vocals. So I was disappointed because they promoted it like Janet was gonna come on here and give us a verse. We want a Janet Jackson verse, honey, because I love Janet, okay? Even Megan Thee Stallion, when Cardi B released the track list and the features, when she released the features, she put it was a little promo thing. It said is Megan Thee Stallion the drama, and Megan said, "Am I? I guess I am," or something like that. Like Megan shared it on her IG story. They were making it kind of seem like Megan had a newer song, So the promo was kind of like a gotcha moment a little bit a few times with this album. But overall, I love the rollout. I loved how Cardi B was in the streets selling her stuff at the bodega in New York, running around in the Bronx. She was on the subway selling it. It was like such a guerrilla marketing where she was just kind of shoving it down your face, and I actually liked it. She had a DoorDash commercial where she was like, "I'm delivering my album to y'all." Da 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 da. Da. So overall, the promo was fun. Her interviews have been really, really good. Her Breakfast Club interview was great. Um, Overall, she took an old school approach to the promo. She's also doing like CD signings at like local CD stores in local cities, right? Like cities all over the US. She's doing like a 30 city tour right now where she's touring even while she's pregnant, and she's signing all of her albums at these local like vinyl and CD stores. So overall, the marketing and the rollout is so fun, and I feel like she's figuring out how to not feel too far away from the fans. Because, that's the issue with the modern day celebrity. I'm gonna close my laptop because we're done. That's the issue with the modern day celebrity. They feel so far away. It doesn't feel like they're like human. And I think a part of Cardi B's magic is that she feels like a person. And she is a person, right? All of these people are people. But Cardi, she makes you feel like, oh no, like you with me. You get me, like you feel like a person. So that's what I liked about the promo and the rollout of this album. And the colors, she had like four different vinyls. One was pink, one was white, one was yellow and red, and then she had the regular one. So she just had like all these different photo shoots. Um, Good job, Cardi. We gonna make this an 8 out of 10. Let's see what the videos are gonna do. Imaginary Players was good. I don't think we got a video for Outside. I wish we would have got a video for Outside. I wish Outside would have came out a lot earlier. But overall, it's a solid sophomore album, and I'm really, really proud of her. I'm so proud of her because after the last 7, 8 years of seeing Cardi B crash out on the internet, cussing people out, fighting Offset, child, every day she was on the neighborhood talk, cussing out Offset on Hollywood Unlocked, cussing out Offset, dragging him, exposing the baby mama. That's my Bluetooth light. It keeps talking. Ignore it. I know it's ghetto. I know. I gotta order a new one. Okay, we're gonna turn it back on because it's so pretty. Okay, we're back. So, after seeing Cardi, this is so ghetto. Oh my goodness. I don't know why it keeps saying Bluetooth mode. I don't know why. That light, it has a Bluetooth on it and it plays music, and it always says Bluetooth mode now. I don't know why it says that. Anywho, after seeing Cardi fighting on the internet, fighting strippers, fighting random women on the internet, cussing them out, fighting her haters, fighting Offset, getting on the internet, crashing out, crying. I think it was last year where she was on Instagram Live screaming at Offset and crying, and you could just hear the pain. Do y'all remember that live? It was one particular live where Cardi B was like, she was saying something around the lines of like, "Oh my God, I do everything for your ass, and I do everything for you," and did it, and you could just hear the pain. You could just hear the heartbreak in her. Ooh, so Cardi B has been through a lot, you know, and now there are times where I thought she was kind of making excuses for herself because I'm like, girl, we got to get to the studio. I get that you're going through it with this man, but we got to get to the music. Where is the music at? People, we want to see what you got. We want to see. We want to see. We want to see. Put your money where your mouth is because you're a rapper. You get me? So we want to see. Can you do it again? You get me? And I'm glad that she's showing the world I can do it again, right? And even if the album didn't sell and go platinum in one day, even if it just came out, it still shows after 7 to 8 long years of just crazy drama and her leaning into the drama, it shows that she can still stand, right? So it's not about being the best female rapper. Cardi B has never ever said that she ever wanted to be the best female rapper. She knows her place. Cardi B has never ever said, I'm trying to be the best female rapper. She's never said that. But she's still here. And I think that that's what this second album is definitely about. It's her leaning into her life, her leaning into the drama and having fun with it, and just leaning into all the things and addressing a lot of people, calling people out. She dissed JT. How can I forget that? She dissed JT and her man. I forgot his name. Lil Uzi? Yeah, Lil Uzi Vert. She dissed them on Magnet. She dissed Ice Spice on Imaginary Players. Child JT on that one too. She gave a shout out to Lotto, and I believe she gave a shout out to Lotto on Time, I think. She threw a little shade at Nicki here and there. It was very subtle. It was very subtle, but she definitely threw some shade at Nicki here and there. You got to go listen to the albums to find it. I'm not going to point it out. Anyways, drop down below and let me all know what you think of this album review. It was so fun. I didn't want to write them down. I just wanted to give it to you off the top of my dome and just have fun and not be perfect, okay? So I really, really hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I like My Little Pony. Drop down below. Let me all know, what are your top 5 records off of MI? The Drama. What is your rating of the album? Do you give it a 10 out of 10, a 4 out of 10, a 2 out of 10? Is it a trash album? Or is it an amazing sophomore album? Did she stand the test of time? Bop or flop? Who knows? Okay, I think it's a bop. Let me not take that because bop and flop belongs to someone else. Um, Fire or not fire? Let's say that here on the Sark Effect, okay? Was it fire or not fire? I do think it was a fire record. Did she have some weaker records? Yes. Were there some album fillers? Yes. Okay. But overall, it's a solid body of work, and I'm proud that she just finally got it out. It's been so damn long, Cardi. I'm glad she got it out. Anyways, thank you so much for watching.